老师，那你可以举一个后太 failure 的情形吗？
好，我这样举例。
好，谢谢。
Well, they are not usually in the same situation. Clock is a kind of timing signal. Try to orchestrate, try to synchronize the behavior of all of the circuit of the gate. The enable signal is to enable that flip-flop or register to data get into the component. If the enable signal is off, is asserted, then it will not get into the component. So okay, let me say this. Let's get that. Okay. There's a question about what's the difference between clock signal and enable signal. Okay. About that question, actually, many registers have both clock signal and enable signal. Okay. This is the enable. Let me try the register. The register with the 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit image. The data input being wired. And then the output again being wired. So there's a clock signal. And you may have also write enable signal. And actually, more often than not, is a low active, meaning when write enable WE is zero, then when clock H or Y, data will get into the register. If clock H or Y and write enable is not asserted, which is 1 here, okay, this is low active. If 1 then not enable, even though the clock write, D will not change the value inside the register. Is that clear? Both are needed. And some design with no write enable signal, then it's going to change the value every clock cycle, every time to clock H or Y. This is an actual signal to either enable or not enable, could be different value at different time, different clock cycle. Depends on your signal coming from the upstage. 刚刚问题说，class 讯号它也代表了开关进来，那跟 write enable 这个讯号的差别在哪里？或叫 write enable 或叫做 enable 都可以就是因为我直接把它叫1也可以。那 bar 代表说到 AT 0的时候才代表它 enable 能够让它进去。那经常是这两种都同时存在。就是说，今天 clock H 到哪的时候，要看它到底有没有被 assert。这个例子来讲，它是0代表 assert。如果没有那条横杠，1代表 assert。如果它是 enable 的话，才可以进去。clock indicate the timing point, what point of time. Enable meaning in that clock cycle, either enable or disable, depend on the value from the other places. So both are needed. Alright? Although some register has no enable signal, meaning you update every clock cycle. Okay? Alright, and another question is about certain whole time. Okay, let me give you another term. It's called clock to queue delay. CLK. This term means what? Means that when the clock arrives, clock edge arrives, how much time it takes. The new value will appear at the output queue. That's why it's called clock to queue delay. Let me repeat it. Every flip-flop, every register has a clock to queue delay. You can also look at your data sheet or menu. It will give you the exact what is the clock to queue delay, how much time it takes. When you design a circuit, maybe let's say you have two registers like this. You have some circuit with clock, conditional circuit, another register, clock, and so every clock cycle, data will update the queue. And during that clock period of time, queue will go into the cloud, maybe do some computation, engage or get error, so on and so forth. And then after some delay, it reach the input this register. The start time means that the new value should not override the old value too soon, because the old value should be still right there, even though clock goes up. The old value should be still right there, keeping the old value. Okay? It is so much time. That's the whole time. After that, this Q value goes through cloud, and after the value, then fine. As long as you have enough whole time, then it's going to be totally correct. Otherwise, if it's too soon to override this value, then there's not enough whole time. Then it's called whole time fading. That could make the circuit incorrect, getting the wrong value. Okay. Let me try to give an example. Assuming that this circuit has 10 in a second. There are some conditional circuit, and clock Q delay would be delay is 1 in a second. Okay. And setup time maybe 2 seconds, and hold time maybe 1.5 seconds. Can you tell me what should be the minimum clock period for this circuit? Let me repeat it. My question is that we are trying to calculate the clock period or clock rate, right? Just inverse. The clock frequency, we hope that the clock frequency as high as possible will give you better performance, right? Clock frequency, meaning you should try to calculate what the minimum clock period. In other words, right? We want to calculate how high the clock frequency can be, meaning what is the minimum clock period that will make the circuit work. So given this number, can you tell me what is the clock period at least? Lower than that, no problem. But that will hurt Lower than that, you will not get a circuit correctly. Operation. Okay, what's your answer? Okay, try to think about it and give me your answer. Any suggestion? This number actually will be provided from the data sheet in the data sheet. Okay? You buy some circuit chip, and that will give you a manual or data sheet that will indicate what is the delay for this number. And then you know how you can design the circuit. In this case, what is the minimum clock period to make the circuit correct? What is clock period? Clock period is starting from clock goes up until the next clock going up, right? So clock period. This is clock period. So my question is, try to calculate even this number, what is the minimum clock period, such that you have enough allowance to make the circuit work. One millisecond for cut to Q delay, 10 milliseconds for the combination circuit. The minimum setup time 2 milliseconds. Minimum hold time is 1.5 milliseconds. So what is the minimum clock period? And this is a very important question in circuit design.
它传递过来那个吗？全部加起来吗？我这里全部加起来。
Any answer? Yes? How much? 9 milliseconds. 9. Why?
The sum is 4.5.
Only for this computer circuit, it takes 10 milliseconds.
Oh,
Must be longer than 9, right? Any other answer? 有别的答案？我的周期至少要多少时间，才能让电路可以正常工作？大于它当然可以 work， 可是将你的速就变慢，所以我们要取最小的 clock period， 让它够快，而且让它有正确运作。It's very common, it's very important issue you have to consider in your circuit. Yes. 5? How come? 这个电路就10个millisecond， 怎么可能会小于它呢？不可能啊！你比它还短，那你根本不够它正常工作啊。
11。
Yes.
13.5.
13.5. Okay. One of the answer is 13.5.
我觉得11。因为你现在
Any other answer? 还有别的答案
11。
11 milliseconds.
因为你 set up time 跟 hold time 是可以被电路取代
Any
的，
other answer?
对吧？
还有别的答案
所以我只要 center to delay 够就好了。
Any?
我是觉得是这样吧，有点小合理吧。因为你的 set time 跟 hold time 是表示说电路不存在的时候你才用这个东西啊。你电路存在的话，你只要 center to delay 就好了。
Let me repeat my question again. We are trying to calculate how fast the clock can be in your circuit, given this parameter, given this data, because we want to make the clock as fast as possible. But at least it should be working right for the circuit. So we are trying to calculate the minimum clock period to make the signal correct. And we say that it takes 10 seconds in this clock. These are computer circuit for data to go through. And for each register, the clock period delay is 1 nanosecond. The minimum setup time is 2 nanoseconds. Minimum hold time is 1.5 nanoseconds. So the question is, what is the minimum clock period?
Clock to Q 跟 setup 差别是什么？
这两个是不同的。
对。
Okay, setup time, let's say, is the input should arrive earlier than the clock age, right? And it should be added so much time. It's called setup time. After this point of time, you should not change anymore. Before that, fine, it doesn't matter what value it is. You can keep changing. But right after this point of time, it should be stable. 操作时间点不能再改，你只要给它足够的时间，你是稳定的 input， 不能动。后看是 clock 到了之后，我一样还是不能动，留在那边，只不能改变，直到我足够的 hold time 之后再去改。那这样我就确保你 edge 时间所抓到的值是可以正确的进到里面去，得到新的值出来。那 clock Q 是指你 clock edge 到达到 output Q 出来的时间有多久？
到之后，
就 clock edge 到达，然后到 Q 出现，因为 clock 先到 ，Q 是后来才出现的。
就是在 register
它一定有 delay， 它有这么久。
register 里面的应用时间嘛，有点像在 register 里面用的时间。
对。这里 clock 到达之后，第一粒米 clock 来就要找，对不对？这错不了。但 clock 到达之后，还需要这么久时间才能够让这里 output 出现在 output 端，这叫 clock to Q delay。So what's the answer? Any other answer? 13.5 nanosecond, 11 nanosecond. Any other answer? Any other suggestion?
那我觉得13.5。我觉得13.5，我喜欢讲错了。
Other? Any suggestion?
I would say maybe 20.
20? 20 nanosecond. Okay, another answer. Who else? 还有别的答案 ？Any other answer? Okay, let's try to come up with the calculation. Well, it's not a very complex question actually. We are trying to calculate what is the minimum clock cycle, right? From clock goes up, T will get through. This value will get through. So from this clock edge arrive until the Q value appears, it takes 1 nanosecond, right? It's the first delay, the first stage, 1 delay, 1 nanosecond. And then it takes 10 nanoseconds to go through complete circuit. So 1 plus 10. And then what? And then before the clock edge arrives again, you should provide enough setup time, which is 2 nanoseconds. So 1 plus 10 plus 2. The answer is 13 nanoseconds. And then you might wonder, then where is the hold time? In this case, there's no hold time failure problem because it takes 10 nanoseconds, which is quite long. Much longer than 1.5. So we don't have to worry about hold time here. And so 1.5 nanoseconds is not included in the equation in this case. Okay, maybe let me try to set before I forgot. Okay, I will update. I will provide an updated version. how come we cannot save it? So they cannot save it. Maybe you try to put down the note. Yeah, the lecture file did not provide this, but I think it's a very important issue in the digital circuit design. In digital circuit, digital logic design cloud, typically we do not cover the circuit behavior, detail behavior, but it's an important issue. If you are real designer for the digital circuit or the computer. So there are that I cannot say. Yeah, give you some more time to run it out.
老师换句话说，就是后态可以被那个组合电路那边取代，是吗？就是多。
在这个例子来讲，这边它非常的，如果今天是你，它如果完全没有电路，
小于
那这样就有问题。
对。
它就没有那个它的看一下。
所以只要后态。
对，如果没有这个电路，你的
OK。后态就。
我们会可以再问你。OK，here's another question. If there's no cloud here, simply wire directly connect the input. Then, do you have photon fading? If you do, why? And if you do have photon fading, what can you do to make it work? Let me repeat my question. In this case, there's no photon failure because it takes 10 milliseconds. The value here will not get through very quickly and update the value. So this old value will be right there quite a lot of time. It is 10 milliseconds. You don't have to worry about that. So it must be enough. But if there's no circuit here, the wire connect directly to the input, then do we have photon failure? And if we do, what can you do? Well, the answer is any delay. How much delay do you need here? Can you tell me? And actually, right here, we assume that clock signal will run at the same time. Okay? If this clock signal run even later, then the problem is going to be a little bit more serious. But assuming the clock edge will run simultaneously, fine. Then we have this kind of calculation. So the second question is, if there's no conventional circuit here, then why direct connection? Then do we have photon failure? If we do, how do you solve the problem? Well, the answer is any delay, but how much the delay should be to make it work? 问题是，如果今天没有这个主电路在这边提供 delay， 那么有没有可能它会 photon failure？ 如果有的话，请问我要怎么解决？解法但是我们加 delay。要加 delay， 请问你至少需要加多长 delay 才能让电路可以正确工作？ Then the question. Any answer? Well, actually, the answer is yes, there's a photon failure. If there's no 10 millisecond conventional circuit here, so you need to add delay. So how much delay do you need in here to make the circuit work at this? What is the minimum delay? Any answer? Okay, the relevant point of time is clock. You also get the clock age. Starting from there to calculate. So when the clock goes up, there's a clock Q delay 1 nanosecond, right? From here to here, it takes 1 nanosecond. If there's no delay in here, it means that your whole time requirement will not be met because 1 nanosecond is lower than 1.5 nanosecond. The new value will override the previous value in input to make it not enough whole time. So the difference is 0.5 nanosecond. If there's a delay, 0.5 nanosecond, then totally clock to Q delay 0.5 nanosecond, you have 1.5 nanosecond. Just make it for the whole time requirement. Right? They will repeat it manually. 至少需要加一个0.5 nanosecond 的 delay 在这边，因为 clock Q 嘛 ，clock 一上去，从这边到这边一共花了1个 nanosecond， 再加上0.5 nanosecond， 代表说 clock 上去，它需要有足够让它停留1.5个 nanosecond 的 hold time 的时候，我才保证电路可以正常工作。那所以加一个0.5 nanosecond 的 delay 就足以让它有足够的 hold time 可以满足它。Any question? 对。
就是如果只加0.5的话，那它到下一段的话，可能之前不是set up它要2 那这样的话，
这是 period 的事情，那是 clock period 的。
看一下，你说讲set time 是？
对，就是如果中间只有加0.5的话，
中间只有加0.5的话。Okay, another question. If I say there's no delay here, there's no new circuit, sorry, I cannot write. There's no circuit here. But I said we need to have delay to meet the whole time requirement. But how about start time? Is the start time a problem? Is start time a problem? Let's say we have already added a delay here, 0.5 millisecond, to meet a whole time failure, a whole time requirement, 0.5 millisecond. But how about start time? Well, it depends on your clock cycle. Given that this is a 0.5 millisecond delay, so the new question is, what is the minimum clock period such that to make the circuit work? Meaning, it has enough cell time. You try to minimize the clock period to make it work. So how long? What's the delay? What's the minimum clock period for the new circuit in this 0.5 nanosecond delay here? That's the same question from the previous question, right? Clock to Q, 1 nanosecond, 0.5 nanosecond. And then what? And that's the minimum clock period, and also just mean the whole time. So 1.5 millisecond is the minimum clock period. Which, let me see. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's 2 nanoseconds. Okay. Let me modify. What is the clock period, minimum clock period? Given that you need a 0.5 millisecond delay here to meet the whole time requirement. What is the new clock period here? again, like I say, count to Q 1 nanosecond, 0.5 nanosecond, and 2 nanosecond. So totally, that 1.5, 2, so 3.5 nanosecond. That's the minimum clock period, right? The same question from the first one. We have already considered cell time when we calculate the clock period. 就我们在计算 clock period 的时候，实际上已经考虑了我们的 cell time， 把它纳进来，考虑你至少需要多久可以作为 clock cycle， 至少这么长，才能满足它的 cell time。它已经在计算 clock cycle 的时候，已经把这里面纳入考虑，才能让它正确工作。Okay, let me repeat it. If there's no circuit at all, given that circuit, given that parameters, and we say that you have to add delay and buffer or two inverters, something like that. That should give at least 0.5 nanoseconds, such that you can meet the whole time failure because cut to Q 1 nanosecond and 0.5 nanosecond. So you, when clock goes up, the old value will be still right there, at least 1.5 nanoseconds before it's been written by the new value. And that can meet the whole time requirement. And the clock cycle time calculation is clock to Q delay plus this delay plus cell time. That's your minimum clock period. And that's it. Have you any other question?
刚刚不是想问一个，
Okay.
不是想
I'm
问。
going to abandon because I cannot be saving that.
算计结构，第二层叫计算机结构。
好。
Okay, in industry, here are two kinds of clocking design. The most common design for clocking is only one clock signal. Only one clock signal, COK, going through all the circuit across the whole chip. Another design approach is having non-overlapping clock. Maybe 2 signal, maybe 4 signal, depends on your design. Here is a 2-phase clock signal. There are two clock signals, phi 1 and phi 2. And they are not overlapped. Okay? When phi 2 is high, phi 1 must be low. When phi 1 is high, phi 2 must be low. There could be some period of time both are low, but it cannot be both are high. The reason why some people prefer this non-overlapping clock is that they want to avoid the clock skew problem. Because non-overlapping clock can prevent reset, the whole time failure or risk condition. As long as non-overlap exceeds clock skew, because when if you look at the circuit, this is D flip-flop. Phi 2 control the first switch. Phi 1 control the second switch. And when phi 2 goes up, here it gets through. And this disable off. So you don't have to worry about the value will get through. That would make that will have the risk condition for whole time failure. As long as the period of time both are low, that delay, that period of time exceeds the clock skew delay, then you're fine. Phi 1 or Phi 2 controlling this stage and the other stage, respectively. But both cannot be on simultaneously. Otherwise, if there's a class Q, if 5152 looks like this, you might have a problem. In this design, it also 51 high, 52 low. 52 high, 51 low, but they are just exactly at the same time to go up and go down. But since there could be class Q, another signal could be a little bit later than the first one. And then it occurs that both are high for a small period of time, which will cause problem because the signal can go through, right? Breaking the whole time rule. And this kind of non-overlap class signal had a period of time that would allow non-class Q issue. If the second class signal arrives no later than this amount of time, then you're fine. 比如说我们今天让 class 去让它呢，有段时间是两个都是 low， 都不是 high。那像即使今天你有 class Q， 比如说 5 2，a little bit later than 5 1， 只要我慢的程度不会超过它这个时间的程度，那么我当然不会有所有的活动飞裂的问题，就不会让它就不这样工作。Well, this textbook use the two-phase clock, not only clock here, but actually industry already solved the class Q problem by other means. So nowadays, very few people use it over the class signal here. Gate layout, we mentioned layout before. Layout, just the geometric shape and position on the chip real estate. Layout can be very time consuming. If you draw the layout, hand clock to draw the layout, it's very time consuming. And we call that forecasting design, forecaster. We call forecaster design, meaning simply draw your circuit and geometry. And typically, you will try to design gate to fit together nicely. For example, the same height, so that can be cascaded. But actually, the more popular approach is not forecast design. It takes too much time, too much human power. The more popular approach is cell-based design, stainless cell design methodology. This is more popular. Probably more than 90% chip design using stainless cell design approach. With stainless cell design, it means that the system or the tool provide a library of stainless cell layout. 2 input NAND gate, NOR gate, 3 input NAND gate, NOR gate, inverter, so forth, and D flip-flop. This layout already in the library. You simply take each one and try to put them together. Okay? Just like building a home, building a house. You try to use the available component, the brick, so on and so forth, to build your home. This way, you don't have to really design the layout for each circuit. And VDD and ground should abut together. Okay? Meaning stand high. Let me give you an example. Okay, here. There's an inverter here. This includes the substrate tag or wave tag. The inverter, so if the inverter is so much higher, the neighboring cell may be the NAND gate, for example. You should try to make the cell height the same, such that they can be above together. And in the meantime, your VDD will across different cells. If they are both the same height, 就是那个 inverter 跟这个 NAND gate 一样的高度，可以 it can be different with some narrow, some wide, fine, but they should be the same height, such that the VDD and the ground rail can go through straight, right? If they are different height, then your VDD and ground will be a little bit twisted, okay? If then higher than that, VDD will turn around, turn left, and then turn right. That's going to consume more chip area. We want to abut, we want to concatenate the power rail, okay, like this. So different cells have the same height, typically in the library. The VDD and ground should abut. Okay? Adjacent gate should satisfy design rule. So again, the inverter, the NAND gate, all the layout for each cell, of course, it has to meet the design rule requirement. But after you abut these two cells together, okay, you should still guarantee that they do not violate the design rule. 就你今天每个 cell 本来就设计受件是有符合它的设计规范 design rule。接在一起之后，你还是要注意是不是仍然维持它没有违反它的 design rule。For example, in the NAND gate, maybe some wire, metal wire in here. There could be some blue metal wire. Then you have to check whether or not the spacing is enough. We mentioned before that wire, in addition to the minimum width, is also a spacing, minimum spacing, right? Requirement. So when you connect these two cells, about these two cells, you have to make sure that, okay, they did not violate the design rule after they are connected together. 就你今天把两个 cell 并在一起的时候，你还要注意是否有违反它的 design rule 规定，因为你在一个 cell 的时候还看不出来它跟隔壁的距离多远嘛，各自有各自的设计。接在之后，你就要注意有没有违反这个 design rule 的规定。Well, actually, the design rule checking is a mechanism in the layout tool. The tool actually will provide warning if there's no enough spacing, if there's no enough width for each layer. The tool will indicate these are violated design rules, so you can modify. This is what is said here. Adjacent gate should satisfy design rule. Okay? And typically, NMOS at bottom and PMOS at top. This is a typical steady CMOS gate, right? Put on network, put on network. And all gate include wave and substrate content. Like I said, you should provide the VDD and ground connected to the substrate and wave to make the transistor work. Okay? Well, actually, some design especially for custom design. Like this. In here there's an inverter. Okay. And below that, there's another gate. This is one row of cells and another row of cells. And if there's a gate here, typically we will do the layout. This is power wave, this is power wave. Actually, this is going to be what? This is going to be VDD. And try to combine these two to save chip areas. What I'm saying is that the cell below that will share the same ground wave. Okay? Below this cell, there's another cell here. Some people, actually many people try to combine the ground layer here and this ground. They can share the same ground layer such that you can save chip area. Otherwise, if there's another ground here, in addition to the width of the ground, also the spacing that consumes chip area. So this way you can save a little bit chip area. Although typically NMOS at the bottom for product level and PMOS at the top for product level. Well, actually it doesn't matter because the chip can turn around, turn upside down. So it doesn't matter which one is top, which one is bottom. They should be the same for in the same wall. They should be the same. All gate include where and substrate table. Actually, I have already mentioned that. To maybe substrate and wire connected to the correct power signal. Okay, let's take away.
我怎么？
有画为什么 VDD 跟挂要对是什么意思？刚刚有画在旁边。
因为这是一个 cell 嘛，那你可能
慢一点，就其实我涂完没有很懂。就是你那时候说笑一个笑是长这样。
这是一个 NMOS， 那他讲的 cell 是说这整颗，
这是 PMOS，
这整颗是，这个是这个 PMOS， 然后他说这 cell 是这整颗是 inverter 是一个 cell，
左边还是右边？
这个是 inverter， 这也是 inverter， 只是他没有加这个 type。
等一下，慢一点 ，tap 哪里
？tap 是要接那个，就是让你的基板接到。
你再讲，你重讲一次，说这 A 是什么？
这个也是 inverter， 这个也是 inverter， 只是它没有接到这个。你还记得那个图吗？剖面图，不是 P 的基板要透过。
其实我也没有看很懂，到最后我都已经背了。我也知道我小话写到对不对？
它透过一个那个 tap， 它才会接到，它才可以接到 GND 嘛。
对。
因为这是这个 tap， 这个是要接到 GND。
哦，所以这个是连外面的地，连外面的接地。
让你的地，这个你现在没有看到这些白色的地方都是 P。你知道为什么知道吗？因为昨天看我同学的VLSI实验，他们就在画这个。
看一点，那里都是 P， 这个都是 P。
白色的地方都是 P。
白色的地方
都是 P 的基板，就是 NMOS 不是有 P 基板是 P， 然后两个 N。
慢一点。
就是那个图吗？
慢一点。
好像那个图。
一个来，让。所以等一下这个 substrate T 是让 transistor 这一颗叫 inverter， 这颗叫 inverter， 让 inverter 的光接地。
这个那个 substrate 就是这一颗，这个
哦，这是 P。哦，所以这个是 P。
那个蓝色是 P， 灰色是 N。然后它基板就没有画出来，基板就是白色。
那它为什么这边会画一个 subtract T？
因为它要让这个地方可以接到 GND 啊。这边接到 GND 这颗 NMOS 它才会正常。
是连过去的意思。
substrate 是基板的意思。substrate 它的 T 是 tape 是好像，我也不知道是什么意思，反正就是
一块东西就这样。
我看一下，我也不知道 tape 是什么意思。反正你要对到这个图，龙头啦，龙头。画这个要超无聊。
然后呢？然后他说什么并联串的，要接挂的。
什么接挂？你说下面再一个 row 的意思，那个吗？他这个意思是说，因为你的晶片会有好几个 row 嘛。
有36。好，所以这是第一个。他刚刚，你现在讲的是他刚刚讲第4个。
我说2个 row 吗？
就是他刚刚不是在，就是他在解释 VDD 跟 ground 还有 O gate should include while and sub constraint 嘛。
哦，对啊。
对，
这个就是接这个 tap 啊，是这个 tap。
所以他是指说，如果你在往下接的时候。
contact 应该是在讲这个黑色这个。
second row 是指说这边又在一颗 inverter 嘛？
就是因为 chip 会有可以好多个 row， 那你要让它 GND 接在一起，它才可以节省那个空间。不然你如果2个一样的话，我们就是这里一个 VDD GND VDD GND。
但刚刚这不是写紧邻吗？
紧邻的意思是说，它的 VDD 跟这个 GND 要是这样平行。然后你的 cell 都要放在这2个中间。
不懂，什么 cell 后面
cell 就是这个 gate 啊，你的 inverter 啊，NAND gate OR gate 要放在这个 VDD 跟 GND 的中间，对吧？那你看，像 NAND 3不就是这样子吗？你的 VDD 跟 GND 要放在这上面。然后上面是放 PMOS，VDD 的下面是放 PMOS， 然后 GND 上面是放 NMOS。
哦 ，NMOS 在上是指这个。
PMOS 上面是 PMOS， 下面是 NMOS。
是你自己画的？
这个？
对。
对吧？那是3个 input 的 NAND gate。 这个蓝色的线就是那个 GND 跟 VDD 的意思，你是这两个平行，然后 gate 就是放在这个中间。
所以它的 VDD 在上，然后那个在下，就这个意思。
嗯。要的话就是什么意思？
所以第三行，好，第三行我搞懂了。然后第四个，那这个 second row 的到底是？
那是他多讲的啦，就是因为你不是 VDD 跟 GND 要两个平行的吗？对吧？那你的 chip 怎么可能？你这个不是一个正方形，一个矩形吗？那你要有好多行啊。好多行的话，你要怎么节省那个空间？就是把两个 GND 叠在一起，或是两个 VDD 叠在一起，这样不就可以了？
这样一层一层。
对啊，你如果不叠在一起，就是要 VDD GND， 然后要 VDD GND， 这样好多row都这样子，这样不就浪费那个 chip 的空间？
在哪？
行吗？
我不懂第一点跟第四点的差别。
第一点是说它要这两个要隔一个固定的高度啊，这样子。VDD 跟 GND 要隔一个 height， 一个 H。Now all gate include well and substrate contact。
所以 VDD 跟 GND 的意思，它第一行意思是指说它 inverter 就是它固定的大小是吗？它中间的这个 length 吗？
就是 VDD 跟 GND 的距离是固定的。
哦。
gate 就是塞在那个中间。
gate 就是塞在中间。gate 就是这些东西。
对啊，这些东西要放在这中间。
等我一下啊。
然后 contact 就是前面讲那个黑黑的那个接到侧面。
我现在没办法停，等一下。
然后先去上厕所。
好。